Welcome back to Get Down to Business, the show about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. And I'm thrilled to have a returning guest, Steve Garchow, the president of Foresight Marketing, joining us yet again for a fantastic discussion. Steve, welcome back to the program.
Well, thank you very much. It's a privilege to be on your show.
Absolutely. And what important timing. We are in the end of Q1 of 2021, which means that business owners tuning in need to pay attention to marketing and market research and making sure every dollar they are spending is being put to good use. So, Steve, just as a station identification over here, tell us very briefly about your background.
Sure. Well, I spent over 20 years at a Fortune 500 medical products company, eventually running the global marketing organization of a billion-dollar division. And obviously, a big part of my responsibility was making sure we had the right marketing skill set in the department. So I, together with some other marketing VPs of the other divisions, spent a few months identifying the skill sets we thought our marketing folks needed to possess. Because I believe any company can significantly improve financial performance by implementing more impactful marketing. But in order for companies to benefit from their efforts, leadership needs to identify the marketing skills that are important and hire those individuals with those traits.
Absolutely. And that's a perfect segue. So let's talk about those traits. Let's talk about those techniques. What are the things that business owners tuning in need to look for in a marketing hire as they grow?
Well, I believe that a couple of marketing traits would be one, strategic planning, and that's defined as the skill to understand and pursue long-term organizational growth opportunities. So some common tasks that require this skill are the marketing plan and the product launch plan. A second one would be what I call decision analytics. Now, this describes the logical thought processes that marketing uses to make fact-based, analytically sound decisions. And some things that are tasks that require this would be asking the marketing folks to identify the best return on investment, interpreting market research data, or developing revenue and profitability forecasts.
Absolutely. Talent is so important to a business's success, and looking for people that meet your vision, your mission, but also some of your goals is so important. So I want to segue into market research, because that's a skill that many of the hires, many of the talents that a business owner might bring in will be looking for. Can you define market research, and how does it fit into a company's operation?
Sure. So market research is the systematic process of collecting, analyzing, and presenting objective, useful marketing information for problem solving and decision making. Now, I believe it's important to talk about this because many executives view market research as a luxury or as an avoidable expense. And they use as their defense such comments as, well, our sales team is talking to customers every day. They report back what the customers want. The problem is that approach just isn't good enough to compete successfully in today's world. So the way market research fits is it provides great decision-making facts. So market research is the best way to make sure that a company's products align with customer needs. It helps a business understand competitive activity and therefore respond to it. And it helps identify market niches that may be the most profitable for the company to pursue.
Absolutely. And I'm chatting again with the president of Foresight Marketing. And Steve, very briefly, as we come to the close of our time together, can you tell us how market research has helped customers of yours?
Sure. Well, a startup medical device company had developed a cardiovascular signal so they could measure the heart. And they used that to predict shock, which is really something that people in emergency rooms encounter. And they found that this first market, critical care medicine, required more data before they would accept the technology. And they couldn't afford that. So I performed market research to identify other markets. And my assessment identified the hemodialysis market as an opportunity. And what this ended up doing is My research ended up helping the company find investors that provided $600,000 for seed investment, another $2 million to submit and develop their data for regulatory approval. And what ended up happening is the company successfully commercialized the product, whereas before they never had a chance to make it. So that company's alive today because we performed market research.
Amazing. So, Steve, you've shared a lot of good information on marketing hires, a lot of good information on market research. Can you tell our listeners how they can get a hold of you so they can learn more about all of your services and all of the work that you do?
Sure thing, Shalom. The best way to learn more is to go to my website. That's foresight-consultinginc.com. So that's FORESIGHT-consultinginc.com. Listeners can also find me on LinkedIn as Steve Garchow, spelled Garchow, or they can email me at steve@foresight-consultinginc.com.
Well, Steve, thank you so much for joining us on the air. We're going to squeeze in another quick break here and get down to business. When we return, more small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship.
Thank you.